even though every day really should be Earth Day and every day is Earth Day, this particular day in which we celebrate our Earth, our planet, this beautiful place that we live in, it goes right into my heart. I'm supposed to discuss today what I do for the Earth. The most fun part of what I do for the Earth has been to plant trees. I have planted lots of trees. When I was little, somebody gave me the French book, The Man Who Planted Trees, and I was really inspired. And it's just about a guy that throughout his life, from youth until he became old, he planted trees. And I have done the same, and I have planted about 1,000 trees and about the equal amount of bushes and beautiful things that flower like these that flower behind me. So, one of the most fun things I've ever done for the Earth, if you want, is to plant trees. But that's totally not enough. It's a fun thing and it gives you pleasure, makes you feel warm. But my biggest contribution, if you will, the thing that I'm most proud of through the years is something completely different. And for that, I need to go back to about, 10,000 years ago, when I was a sophomore in college, and there was a very wise man, a biologist, in the department where I was studying. And at that time, you have to imagine, I was European, suddenly in California, in beautiful California. In Europe, people see a squirrel and they go nuts and they just try to feed it and have fun with it and whatever. And suddenly, at 17, I'm in California and we have mountain lions on campus. I could not imagine anything like that in my entire life. So I was just completely floored by the beauty and magnificence and the wildness of California and the fact that human beings could live in a place with mountain lions roaming about. So I just really wanted to contribute. So I went to the wise man, the professor, the biologist, and I said, what can I do? What can I do? I want to be involved. I want Europe to be like this. I want there to be mountain lions in Europe. I want the thing that you have here, I want it to be possible in Europe as well. So he said to me, and so I said, how can I contribute? How can I become an environmentalist like you, to be involved, to help? And what he said to me, it was very funny. He said to me, Dimitri, this is a capitalist country and you gotta hit them at the wallet. That's where it hurts. You gotta hit them on their wallet. And I didn't know what he meant at the time, but slowly I did. What he told me to do, oh look, the cherry trees are blooming today. Wonderful. Anyway, so what he meant was, and what I did, and what I like that I did, and I'm proud of having done, is that the greatest power you have to help the earth is your power as a consumer. And this I translated into two different ways. One of them is consume less. Don't buy shit. Don't buy stuff. Don't have shopping therapy. Don't buy things you don't need, but certainly buy the things you need and don't go nuts debating every single thing, because being depressed about the environment and being depressed about your choices as a human being it doesn't really help anyone. So certainly go on and live your life the way you do. Buy gifts for your loved ones, buy the violin for your daughter or whatever, but don't buy stuff you don't really need. That was the first thing that was important to me, and one of the first things that I did. The second thing that's even more important is that and that's what he meant, that's what Paul meant when he said hit them at the wallet, is that every time you buy something, every time you open your wallet and you make a purchase of a good or a service, you have a choice. You can buy it from one person or another, from one company or another. And if the only thing you do every single time is you choose the better one of the two, the slightly greener of the two of them, then you're making an enormous difference. And I think that's what he meant when he said hit them at their wallet. every time you fill your tank with gas, with petrol in European English, you can select the really nasty oil company, gas company, or you can select the slightly better one. Every time you ride an airplane, you can fly with the one that has the aging fleet that is more polluting, or you can fly with the one that has the younger fleet with the more efficient airplanes. When you go and buy breakfast cereal for your children, you can buy Kellogg's, which is Monsanto, full of chemicals, full of modified things, a shitty brand that has been plaguing Americans for so long, and finally it's going to go bankrupt. Or you can buy granola from the bins at your health food store. So your dollar in every one, or your euro, or your yen, or your renminbi, in every one of these cases will go to the better of the two alternatives. And that's all that's my biggest contribution. That's all you really need to think about. So you don't need to say, I shouldn't take the plane to meet my family for Thanksgiving. No, of course you should. If you go meet your family for Thanksgiving. But give your money to the company or service that is the better one of the alternatives. And don't tell me you don't know which one is the better one. It's very easy. You Google it and you more or less find. None of them are going to ever be perfect. All of them will in some way pollute and hurt the earth, if you will. But if you just encourage the better one of the two or three, the better choice every single time, over your entire lifespan, you're making an enormous difference. And you're sending a message, a very important cultural message, which is that I care and I favor you and not you every single time. So I'm really happy that I planted these trees, and I'm really happy that I have a nice garden and I grow my own vegetables and eat them, and all this stuff is nice and whatever. I try to be local and whatever, but these are mostly emotional things. The real contribution has been the real contribution has been what old Paul told me all these years ago, to just be smart about my consumption and to be knowledgeable and informed, and to always support the better alternative, the greener alternative, the alternative that's better for the earth every time I do something. So, happy Earth Day, everybody. Noma Dimitri.